Hi, my name's Bryan. This is my first YouTube video, so please bear with me. I created this channel because I love miniature gaming and have developed a game and system I wanted to share with everyone. This is a fictional battle set just after the Battle of the Alamo, and I call it the Battle of Las Casas, Mexico. So let's get started. The year is 1836 in the ranchero town of Las Casas, Mexico. The Battle of the Alamo has recently concluded, and people in Mexico celebrate Santa Anna's victory over the Texans. Bill Baxter has formed a posse with his younger brother Jimmy to travel to Mexico to take their fight directly to Santa Anna and its government. The best way to handle this is to attack Santa Anna's Mexican army, and this is what they plan to do. But as luck would have it, while traveling through Mexico, there were strong rumors that one of Santa Anna's high-ranking generals was staying in the ranchero town of Las Casas, Mexico, with a small force from the Mexican army. His name is General Luis de la Garza. And after hearing what took place in the town of San Antonio at the site of the Alamo, Bill's posse is more determined than ever to capture or kill the general. This is a 1-to-1 ratio, where the Texan posse numbers are 8 in total, and the Mexican army forces are 20, including the general. The Mexican army is spread out, covering the town's areas. Because the Texans do not know the general's exact whereabouts in the town, they will attack from both the western and eastern ends. This is Bill Baxter and his Texan posse. He is 23 years old and is the older brother to Jimmy Baxter. They live on a farm, but because both their parents have passed away, Bill has handled it all. He is courageous and intelligent for having no formal schooling, and because he is the older brother, he has always had leadership qualities. However, he strongly believes in equality and justice. And because Santa Anna's government has been corrupt with their ever-so-changing laws, he has decided to take the fight directly to Santa Anna and its authoritarian rule. But to do so, he and his posse will have to travel to Mexico to take the fight directly to Santa Anna and its government. The best way to handle this is to attack Santa Anna's Mexican army, and this is what they plan to do. This is Jimmy Baxter. He is 17 years old and is the younger brother of Bill Baxter. He is always getting into trouble, which his older brother often has to get him out of. What he lacks in intelligence, he makes up for his ability to handle a gun. He and his brother Bill have formed a posse to attack Santa Anna, his government, and his Mexican army. This is George Davis. He is 37 years old and likes to tend to his farm. However, he also doesn't like Santa Anna's harsh policies, especially with taxation. This is why he joined the fight against Mexico. This is Travis Cutter. He is 19 years old and is an excellent marksman. He is good friends with Jimmy. Because both are excellent at handling guns, they compete against each other. He joined the posse because of Jimmy. This is Andy Stevenson. He is 31 years old and a blacksmith in one of the towns where Bill and Jimmy posted their posse posters. He joined because Santa Anna's Mexican government constantly changed its laws. This is Eddie Parker. He is 27 years old and is a horse trader by trade, but because of Santa Anna's Mexican government's corrupt laws, he has suffered much loss in his horse trading business. As a result, he has joined Bill's posse. This is Patrick Harrison. He is 21 years old and works as a lumberjack cutting down trees for his father's business. But because his father lost his business due to the corrupt laws of Santa Anna's Mexican government, he joined Bill's posse. This is Floyd Patterson. He is 41 years old and has lived off his land as a hunter his whole life. But before he comes to the end of his life, he wants to do something worthwhile. And after coming across Bill's poster, wishing to form a posse to fight against the tyrannical rule of Santa Anna, he felt this was what he was looking for. This is General Luis de la Garza and his Mexican army. Now it is time to set up the deployment points for this battle. Bill Baxter will handle a group of Texans on the northwestern side. These are their positions. Once they're activated, they will become alive in these positions. Jimmy Baxter, the brother to Bill Baxter, will handle a group of Texans on the northeastern side. These are their positions. Once they become activated, they will become alive in these positions. The Mexican Army, Unit A, has already been deployed to show its positions, although they are not activated. They cover the courtyard and the western part of the town of Las Casas. The Mexican Army, Unit B, along with the General Luis de la Garza, have been deployed to show its positions, although they are not activated. They cover the central part of town of Las Casas. The Mexican Army, Unit C, have been deployed to show its positions, although they are not activated. They cover the eastern part of town of Las Casas. So the first thing I do when setting up a battle is determine the values of the characters and units. What is their attack and defense skill level? This skill level is significant because it correlates to their 2-hit number. This number determines if they have been hit during an attack when making an attack roll. An attack roll is made by rolling 1d6 and adding modifiers that pertain to the encounter. If the die roll exceeds or is equal to the target's 2-hit number, then the target is hit. The Texas Posse skilled at using a gun is considered at a trained skill level. However, there are several levels within a trained skill level. The skill level below a trained one is the conscript skill level. This level is for those who need to be more skilled in attack or defense. There are several levels within a conscript skill level. The skill level above the trained one is the veteran skill level. This level is for those that are very experienced and highly skilled in attack or defense. There are different levels within a veteran skill level as well. And finally, the skill level above the veteran is the elite skill level. This is for those that are a master in attack or defense. There are not any levels within the elite skill level. So now we need to determine the skill levels of each Texan, the Mexican general, and the Mexican army. I have set the leader of the Texan posse, Bill Baxter, at a veteran skill level of 8, which correlates to a 2-hit number of 5+, before any modifiers are applied. The rest of the Texan posses are as follows. Jimmy Baxter, the younger brother to Bill, I have set to a trained skill level of 7, which correlates to a 2-hit number of 4+, before any modifiers are applied. George Davis, trained skill level of 5, 2-hit number 4+. Travis Cutter, trained skill level of 7, 2-hit number 4+. Andy Stevenson, trained skill level of 5, 2-hit number 4+. Eddie Parker, trained skill level of 6, 2-hit number 4+. Patrick Harrison, trained skill level of 6, 2-hit number 4+. Floyd Patterson, trained skill level of 7, 2-hit number 4+. I have set the General of the Mexican Army, General Luis de la Garza, to a veteran skill level of 10, which correlates to a 2-hit number of 5+, before any modifiers are applied. The Mexican Army is set to a trained skill level of 6, 2-hit number 4+. Now that we have the skill levels and 2-hit numbers for the characters and units, we will write these on game cards that we create for each one, and game cards will have information about the character or unit. This is done because you will draw from the side's deck, which has won the initiative for that game turn, to activate them at their deployment spot. However, to be activated, they must pass a commander's check roll to issue the command and a leader's check roll to relay it. But because there are no commanders for this battle, only leaders, the commander's check roll is omitted. Instead, the leader will make a leader's check roll to issue an order directed at the individual or unit. And the individual or unit will make a morale check to determine if they act upon the order given. After determining the skill levels for the characters and units, their 2-hit numbers, and having written them on game cards and their deployment positions on the terrain board, we next have to determine the commander's quality rating and the leader's quality rating. But again, because there is not a commander for this battle, only the leader's quality rating will be determined. The quality rating is a modifier that can either enhance or hurt a leader's role. The quality rating for a leader will determine their command number and the number of orders they can give. However, the maximum amount of orders for any leader is 3. Now, we will make quality rating die rolls for the leaders. Bill Baxter, the leader of the Texan posse, automatically receives his at an excellent quality rating of +2, with a command number of 3. However, Jimmy Baxter, the brother to Bill, we will roll for his quality rating. This is a roll on 1d6. This is a 5. A 5 is an indication of competent at +1, with a command number of 2. Now we will roll for General Luis de la Garza's quality rating. This is a roll again on 1d6. He rolls a 2. A 2 is incompetent at -2. That means this is a command number of only 1. General Luis de la Garza can only issue 1 command. This means that even though the Mexican army has an advantage in numbers, the Texan posse now has the advantage in the number of commands they can issue and move about the town. Once this is complete, we are ready to begin a game turn by following the sequence of play. The first thing we do for the sequence of play is to determine the initiative between sides. This is done by each side rolling 1d6 with the highest number winning the initiative. This is not an I go and you go type of game system. Therefore, winning the initiative is imperative. However, a side that has won the initiative only sometimes has the advantage. Now, we will determine the initiative between sides. This is done by each side rolling 1d6, with the highest number winning the initiative. The Texan posse will be represented by the white die. The Mexican army will be represented by the red die. The Texan posse will roll first. This is a 1. The Mexican army will now roll. This is a 5. The Mexican army wins the initiative. The next step in the sequence of play is the weather roll, made by rolling 2d6 against the weather chart. This weather type modifier will be applied to this game turn. Since the Battle of the Alamo took place March 6, 1836, and this game takes place shortly thereafter, we will use the month of March for this game turn. This is a roll on 2d6. This is an 8. An 8 indicates clear weather. Therefore, there is clear weather for this game turn. Now we will draw a game card for the side who has won the initiative this game turn, which will be the Mexican army. Each game card has the name, the type, such as if they are a leader, the quality rating of the leader, the command number of the leader, the attack skill level, the defense skill level, the to-hit number, and finally the attributes for characters only. However, we will ignore these for this game. We will now draw for the Mexican army side this game turn. We will shuffle and draw from the Mexican army side. And we choose Mexican Army Unit C. So this now will activate Unit C for the Mexican Army, provided they roll under the morale number, including the quality rating of the leader. A morale check is made by rolling 2d6 equal to or less than the character's or unit's morale number. Every character and unit's morale number begins at 10 and drops 1 point for every 10% of injuries or casualties. Because General Luis de la Garza's quality rating is -2, the morale number for Mexican Army Unit C is 8. Therefore, they must roll 2d6 equal to or less than 8 to be activated at their deployment position. We will now roll to activate Mexican Army Unit C at their deployment position. This is a 5. Therefore, Mexican Army Unit C is activated at their deployment position. Even though Mexican Army Unit C has been activated at their given position, because General Luis de la Garza's card has not been chosen, he cannot issue any orders. Therefore, this game turn is over. We next begin with the sequence of play for the following game turn, rolling for each side's initiative. This concludes my first YouTube video. Even though we are in the preliminary stages of the battle, be sure to tune in for the next game turns until the completion of the Battle of Las Casas, Mexico. I hope you enjoyed it.